Okay, hi everyone. I'm just going to do a little video about our next activity. It's inspired by Studio Braemar, who do lots of window designs, but the artist is Sarah Peters. And so what we will need is our thin masking tape, or if you've got the washi tape, that will also work. Your drawing ink. You can use the black one, or if you've got another colour that might look nice too. A graphite stick, fine liner pen, pencil and black oil pastel. And if you have a favourite poem or text from a book or words that you like, it would be good to have those available too. Because we're going to use text in this demonstration. Now, I am going to use my A5 because then you can see it with the camera, but if you have an A4 sketchbook, then I would recommend that. And we'll start by dividing up the page. You want to get the stickiness off it so you can use your hand, and actually for this one, I don't want a perfect straight line on both sides, so I'm going to tear it down the middle. But if you can't do this, then do not worry, the one straight line will look fine too. I'm just varying it a little bit, and you're putting it down along the short edge, and then what we'll do is we'll also so remember to each time just take off that, and I'm going to split it into 9, so I'll take another one there. Perfect. And along there. And actually it's nice when there's a little bit of a border. So again, take that stickiness off. It works really well if you do it on your skin. And then a little border. Just don't stick it down too hard, because as you know, we'll be peeling these bits off later. So we'll do a border around here, and I'm going to work relatively quickly, but we can take our time over the session, so don't worry about timing. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our graphite stick, and we're just going to shade in one of the squares or rectangles, and then give it a little smudge, and then maybe a bit lighter, and another one. I like that idea of a bit of a gradient, smudging it in, and again I'm gonna do a little bit of cross hatching, but getting right at the end and smudging again. And then I'm actually going to smudge into the adjoining square, so it's got a little bit of that kind of slightly greyish look on the other side. Then I'm getting my fine liner, and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to I've just been writing reading a poem by Wordsworth about Scotland and Yarrow. So I'm going to continue to write it out on here. It's all about Scotland actually, which is really nice. I didn't realise that Wordsworth was a Scottish fan, but that's nice to know. Who isn't? Had trod the banks of Clyde and Tay. And when we're writing very, very like doctor's handwriting. So you can just about make out some bits, but it really doesn't matter. It's more the marks itself that they make. And I'm just going to carry it on here. And we will take our time with this. I'm just going really fast so that you don't get bored. And this is all about the yarrow, which is one of my favourite plants. And I've been doing a whole series of prints based on this. It has loads of sort of symbolism and references in all sorts of literature and folklore and even from like back in the day, like Greek myths and stuff. Okay. And then I'm going to get my oil pastel and I'm going to do a mark all the way down. And then I'm going to write some more on, but this time it is going down the way. Let the herons. Oh, that's really hard to write down. Okay. Then what have we got? We have our pencil. So I'm going over as if it's writing. We might write our full over a couple of the boxes. And then let's have a look. Use my oil pastel to go round the outside. So I'm looking at these different contrasting marks and how they are working. And finally, the exciting bit is I'm going to take my oil pastel, or ink, sorry, and I'm going to take my paintbrush. Yes, forgot to say you'll need a paintbrush. And I'm going to do lots of little marks, almost like a tally. And they're going to come on this one as well. So when we do it ourselves, I want everyone's is going to look sort of different because we'll choose different boxes to make different marks. And I want you to have the freedom to sort of choose. And then if you add a bit of water, I want you to give it a splash with your ink. It's very satisfying. There we go. All right, there we have it. Some experimental ink making and marking, and then the exciting bit is peeling it all off. So I'm going to start with the first one, and probably in the session we will be able to wait until the ink is dry. We'll have a little break, but for the sake of the video, and if you don't have a text that you can think of or like, then you could just make up letters. It doesn't have to be sensical, because as you can see, my writing is pretty non-legible. But even the smudges, I don't know if you can see the smudges that have gone through each one. They've meant that I can't, but the white underneath is really showing up. Oh, I just love this. All these little boxes. And what we can do is we can do, you know, lots and lots more, or little. And there you have it. Our own sort of shaded poetry. I'll just hold it up to the light. There you go. Okay, so look forward to working with you next Wednesday. Bye.